Greetings, family. Today's topic is the pros and cons of being an online seller on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Facebook. Okay, I'm going to cover all of those. Um, I'm going to start with why I felt this was an important topic. As you know, or you may not know, I have a thrifting for repat group, right? And I was doing orientations on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to encourage mostly sisters who were going to the continent or, relocating or just saving for a vacation to get rid of things that they really weren't using. And we talked about how these things could contribute to their airfare, right? Because some people, find it to be a bit pricey going to the continent depending on when you're going. So, with that said, I was always very positive about, we need to get online, start selling things. Like, this is a big business. People are home, people are shopping impulsively. What better time to get rid of things that you're not using? Okay. With that, I never really got into the cons, right? The disadvantages of selling online. So I had an experience the other day and I just thought, you know what? If more people were aware of people like this, these things would not be happening. Like, I almost feel like there needs to be a list for liars and thieves, right? So that the general public who might come in contact with these people, if you want to call them that, will know who they're dealing with and not do business with them or not have be privy to them. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. So this situation happened on Poshmark, right? I have this amazing sale going on, 6 for $25. Now tell me, does it get better than that? But believe it or not, people still want to bargain, right? Whatever. So we do the 6 for $25 sale. This woman wants something that's really not even part of this sale, but I throw it in at a discounted rate. So she gets her items. So about a week or two later, I get a notice that she wants to return the item. So for the most part, I don't do returns, right? Because I don't know what you have in your house. I don't know if you have pets. I don't know if you smoke. Like, I'm not big on returns. If it's not something really obvious, like maybe the listing said one size and I sent you the wrong size, or I sent you the wrong item altogether, then okay, we can do a return. I'm not thrilled about it, but I will do it. Okay, so this individual gets the items and it's a sports bra, brand new, okay? It's an universal thread denim overall, also brand new, pair of sneakers, a box of hair bands that says, like, I don't know where you're going, but I hope you're happy type thing, and something else. I forget what the other item was. Okay, so she writes some kind of complaint that there was some residue on the Band-Aid box. I'm like, obviously, if you pull off a sticker, there's gonna be like the little sticky thing, right? Like, what is she talking about? It's wrapped in, the whole thing was sealed in plastic. So I'm like, no, not taking a return for that. So then the other item was what was the other item? I don't know what her other complaint was. I think it was something about the residue on the oh, I know what it was. It was a sweater. She claimed that there was a button. It's a brand new sweater with the tag and a replacement button, right? That one of the buttons was missing on the collar. Okay, the replacement button is there. Like, that's in the pictures. Item is brand new. So that's what she sent it. So that was her complaint, that there was a button missing and residue on the thing. So I'm like, no, I'm not accepting the return. So Poshmark, goes back and forth and they agree. That's what I don't like about Poshmark, is that they allow buyers to return things even when they're wrong. What is the point of taking pictures and showing that you are providing a new item to someone if their staff is going to decide, let the person return the item anyway? How are we teaching people to respect the sellers if we allow stuff like that? So I was pissed. So I get the stuff back. She sends it back in like a paper file box, not even US Post Office. I wrap everything in plastic or tissue paper. Nothing was wrapped. All of my stuff was put in this box with dryer sheets. Now, what do you put in dryer sheets scenting up my clothes if you didn't wear them? Why didn't you just put them back in a plastic and send them back the way you found them? So I get this stuff back. So I'm pissed. I take a picture of how it was sent back to me. The bra now, all of the writing on the back of the bra with the size and the brand, all of that is washed off. It's worn off. So now if I sent you a brand new bra, why am I getting back an item where one of the bra pads, both of them are on one side? Both of the pads for the bra on one side, the back of the bra is washed. So to me, that tells me that you either had this bra already and you stole my brand new bra and put your old bra in the box, which is disgusting. And the overalls, the bottom of the overalls is shredded. Now, they already had like a slightly shred look, but they weren't completely shredded. So you did the same thing. You either replaced it with something you had already, or you washed my items. Why would you wash something if you didn't wear it? You was just supposed to put it back in the box since you had complaints about it. So the stuff comes back, it's all wrinkled. The sneakers smell, the laces are all pulled out like she probably wore the sneakers. I'm like, this person is disgusting. Like, I am just thoroughly mad at this point. So I write back to Poshmark. I explain why I'm pissed off. I did not agree to accept the box back because once you say you accept it, the case is closed. So I never agreed to accept it. They accepted it. They claimed that they were going to give me a credit, which did not equal the value of the items, and that they would deal with the buyer. So now I'm pissed because I'm like, they ain't doing nothing. And I know that this person probably does this all the time. This bum goes around ordering clothes from people, wears them, and probably sends them back. And if she doesn't do that, she did it to me and she needs to be stopped. So I go on her page and I let her know, did you really think that I wasn't going to notice that my brand new items were replaced or worn? Like, you should be ashamed of yourself, right? So I look on her page further and I see that she's also a seller. And it looks like people give her decent reviews, but she describes herself as a heathen. She also describes herself as like a supporter of her disabled child. And all I could think was, you would be a mom, right? So that means you're probably teaching this nonsense to your kids. So now I'm really ready to go at her on her page, but I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let it go because karma is something. And what I'm going to do that's even better is that I'm going to let folks know who this individual is if they contact me directly. I am not going to put it on the Poshmark page. I'm not going to address her, but people need to know who she is. I just find it interesting how people will advocate to be supporters of a cause, and they're such good moms, and they all about this Poshmark life. And in fact, they out here thieving and lying and presenting these facades like there's something they're really not. So she got the right one because I'm like, I'm going to put her on blast. So if y'all need her information, contact me and I will let you know. Then I had another situation on Poshmark. Someone orders some items, and when she gets the items, it's like a pair of pink cowboy boots, brand new, size 5.5, a jacket, and something else. She puts back, she wants to return the items because the boots are too big. They more like a 6, and some other nonsense, and I'm like, there was nothing wrong with these items when people get them. So if you get something and it's your size and it doesn't fit the way you want it to fit, most likely what you do is reposh it. That's what I do. If I buy something and it says size 10, 10.5, and the shoe don't fit, I don't go through the trouble of I'm giving this back to this person and I'm causing them all kinds of riffraff nonsense. I just reposh them. I put them back on the site and try to sell them. But no, so beware of that. You will run into people that are like petty. I remember even, Poshmark has a scoring system, right? A point system. And you may not be aware of that, but they'll give you 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars based on your sale. It goes up to 5. So personally, I am a 4.9 star seller. So let's talk about that 0.1%. I had a brand new Express jumper on my page, right? In my closet. Someone buys the jumper. Mind you, it's in the picture. There's no belt, right? There's no issues with it. It's brand new. It still has the tags. So this woman gets the order. This child, I should say, gets the order. And she then proceeds to give me like a 2-star rating. And I'm like, what was the 2-star? And this is when I was new and I really cared. I was like, what's the 2-star rating about? Like, what happened with the item? Do you know what she said? It didn't have a belt. I'm like, was a belt advertised in the description? Did you see a belt in the picture? Are you serious? You gave me a 2-star rating. You got a brand new item with no issues. And because there was no belt, that's the rating you gave? So you're going to run into people that really are not supportive of what you're doing, right? They may be thinking like, who are you to be having these nice things that I really can't afford? Like, you will find people hating and people envious. So be ready. Be ready to not get caught up, because these are the little situations that I've had. And when I think about it, like, I've done hundreds of sales. I can only give you like 2 or 3 situations where people were stupid, just plain stupid, like no other words for it. So be ready for that, right? Because there are people like that and nobody's talking about that. Like, I guess it happens so rarely that people figure, why bother? But I'm a bother, because y'all need to know when you come into situations like that, right? And for me, I find the people that spend the least amount of money are the ones that want to give you the most problems. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're already getting a bargain. But this is how people are. And if you're going to be in this business, you got to brace yourself and get ready for it. Okay. So that was my one I wanted to share with you all to be ready for. But let's talk about more of the, like, the advantages to selling online, the pros about selling online. One of the things I like is that I don't have to have a store, right? I don't have to pay rent for a location. I don't have to worry about paying for storage. Um, there's no brick and mortar issue. Like, I could do that. I could have a store as well. But for right now, I'm doing everything from my laptop, everything from my phone mostly. And that is a blessing in itself, right? You can just lay on your phone and do what you need to do. The other thing is being able to sell to people that I may have never had contact with, right? Like, I have customers in Ohio, California, Illinois, right? Chi-town. Like, I have folks that I would have never thought, Texas, Florida. These are people I wouldn't have access to if I was in Brooklyn or I was in Pennsylvania, right? So it definitely allows you to have access to people, even folks in Canada, right? So you may even be doing international sales depending on, how that works out. The other thing is, it's easy to list your items from, like, I list my items from highest to lowest. Some people list it on, things that might have just come into the closet. Some people list by color. So those are options. You have the advantage of being able to do that. One of the things I like about Poshmark is that when you break down the categories, they have these parties, and when they break down the categories, you are able to just go to your women's section, go to women's bags, and list all of your bags, right? And then you could go and list other things. The other piece is, encouraging people to shop, right? Like, I tell folks every chance I get, listen, I'm having a sale. I saw some stuff I thought you might like. I make offers to people. I allow them to make offers to me, and I accept those offers if they're reasonable. If they're not reasonable, I'm not going to accept the offer, because then it's not. My logic is, when people make an offer, they need to take into consideration the time and energy that is put into providing this item for them, right? I drive to the location where I get these items from. I take my time and carefully pick out and examine the things that I pick up, right? I bring them home, wash, steam, hang these items, right? I post them online. And then after posting them, if they accept their offer for the item, I then have to fold it, package it, take it to the post office, right? Or arrange for it to get to the post office. So that's a whole lot of effort. So, most of the time they're not paying you for your time and energy, but yet they still want to bargain down an item. So make sure you are pricing your item at a price that you feel is fair, something you can deal with. The other piece is, free advertising, right? Like we get to advertise on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, right? It's free. Like you just have to figure out how you're going to do that. You could pay for the marketing campaigns and stuff like that, but if you really don't know what you're doing, sometimes that could be a waste of money because there's a trick to that as well. Um, the other is, take into consideration that whatever platform you go on, it's not really free, right? Because, like Poshmark, for example, if I list an item for, I don't know, let's say $10, they take 20%. Yeah, they take 20%. So by the time they take their percentage, I'm down to like $6, right? So you got to think about how you're pricing your items. You could get upset and say that's high, 20%, but you also have to think about this. When you sell to a buyer, Poshmark is the one that is issuing the shipping label for that item, right? We forget that. They are paying for the shipping. Shipping is usually $7.99. They try to offer it at a discounted price. You can do free shipping, and that way you include the cost of shipping and the cost of the item, or you could do discount shipping. I generally don't do free shipping. I will do discounted shipping if Poshmark is running a special and then it's $4.99. Then I'll do, if like they do like a closet clean out and it encourages you to lower your prices. And when you do that, they automatically do the $4.99 shipping. So that's just something to think about. Let me see, I have a list here of things I don't want to forget. The other thing is that some people might look at, online selling as competitive. I don't really look at it as competitive. I generally don't look at people as competition. I don't. I feel like, what you do is in your lane and what I do is in my lane. Like, I don't really look at it like, oh, I have to do this because this person is doing this or this individual has something that I want to do. I don't look at it like that because I know whatever I do is unique to me and it can only come from me. Like, there's no imitating, there's no perpetrating. I don't worry about stuff like that. So when you open your store, you know that you have a particular style, a particular eye for things, and that's what you base it on. That's what makes you unique, right? So just, don't think about competition and nonsense like that. I think insecure people roll like that. If you about your business and you about your business, get that bag, right? Also, shipping your products. Like I said, Poshmark does the label. eBay also does the label. Mercari does the label. Um, but you have to get the items shipped out. So you have to think about packaging those items up properly so that things are not broken, so that it's a good presentation. And that could be a little bit of work. Some people don't like that end of it. I personally like to drop my packages at the post office. It gives me an excuse to get out the house and walk to the UPS store, stuff like that. Um, but some people will call the post office and schedule for them to come and get the packages. My post lady she's an elder, so I don't really be thinking about giving her extra stuff to do. It's enough for her that she has to deliver the boxes to me. That's the other thing, right? That we talk about in my orientation is about arrangements that you can make with the post office for supplies. Okay. Um, so we talked about the cons basically, and the cons, like I said, was like people trying to get over. Now, those was my experiences on Poshmark, on eBay. Hmm, the first 30 days of eBay was rough. Okay, I didn't know how to do the settings for my items, and if you don't put for people to pay immediately or um if you don't press the right button, like for something to be auctioned or to be sold, you will get caught up. You'll get caught up and you'll be pissed. So make sure you know your settings, right? Otherwise, you might lose something for a lower, for a higher value at a lower price because you didn't do your settings correctly. Or somebody could have your item locked up as sold because you didn't put pay immediately, and then you're not able to repost it until that situation is resolved. So those first 30 days, I was on the phone with eBay a lot, like really pissed off. A lot of scammers trying to get you to mail the item before it was actually paid for, and I was like, what, like, what is going on? So that's another thing. Be careful with that. um, Something else eBay does, eBay does not take a percentage the way Poshmark does from every sale. They do it a little differently. They do it like on a monthly basis, where they base it on how much you sold, right? And the other thing they do is, let me see, they do it based on how much you sold. Oh, when you first start, right? They might tell you, for example, you can only list like 50 items because you're new. And once they see that, that you're doing okay with your sales, the next time they will tell you next month you're able to list 100 items. Then the next month it'll be, now you can list 200 items. Then the next month it'll be 500, and it increases as your sales go. So that's a little different than Poshmark, where you can just list as much as you want, right? You can put all your items. There's no limitations to it. So that's just something to think about when you're getting on there. Um, I listed on Mercari as well, but I find people on Mercari don't like to spend a lot of money, and that particular items sell on Mercari. Like, Mercari seems to be like a younger crew. And I've sold stuff like a lot of black patent leather, like, pants with the buckle straps on them, patent leather dresses, leggings, like things like that for me sell there. Couple of pairs of sneakers I've sold there as well. I don't do a whole lot of business on Mercari, like just a little bit. Um, People just seem to want things at a really low price on Mercari, so I only put certain things on there. Poshmark is where I do most of my sales, and eBay will be the middle range, right? And eBay I like because you get people from, like, it's more of an international, even though it's kind of old school, it's like an international group of people. It's a wider range for you to reach your items out to a larger range of people. Um, so you have to be careful with just what platform you're going to choose, right? So far, I've done eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. I tried some new ones, but I wasn't too thrilled about them. Like, I did a platform called Depop, Depop. And I'm not that engaged. I just listed a few items to see what would happen. I got likes, but no one really like reaching out to make a sale or anything. So I may not let that one go on for too long. Um, the other thing is, oh, I think I mentioned Facebook and OfferUp. Those are also platforms. Like, OfferUp I use more for like furniture and appliances and local pickups. Facebook, same thing. Like, it would be more of a local thing. And some of my handcrafted items I've put on Facebook as well, right? Because those are things that I can directly deliver to people and utilize that. And also look at, like, what platforms you're using for your sales, right? If you're doing sales outside of those platforms, you want to make sure that, you're getting your payment first. If it's PayPal or Zelle or Google Pay, those are other options as well. Um, and I think that's it. I just wanted to make sure that I covered everything. We talked about online platforms. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention also was drop shipping, right? That's also a way to do like online selling. Now, with your drop shipping, I use them for, let's see, Teespring. I sell t-shirts and face mask on Teespring. What I did was I uploaded my designs, and I have them on the mask and the t-shirts and cell phone cases. And that's on Teespring. And sometimes I just have ideas to design shirts, and I use Canva to do that. But I also finish the product on Teespring. So that's another platform. They only thing about drop shipping that, I'm new to that, but they take a large percentage. They take a large percentage. Like, if something sells for $16, you might see $7 of it. And that's because they're providing the product, they're taking care of the shipping, they're just using your design to do it. So just be aware of that. I hope this was helpful. It's a lot of information, but you can always rewind and, listen to the information again. And if you have any questions, please feel free, drop them below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But know that it is an option. There are always more pros than there are cons, so don't be deterred. Get that bag. Blessings.
I'm gonna sit down with you. This my food?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to heat it?
Yeah, move it up.
Yeah, I was like, you might want some.
I just finished my direct deposit for Lowe's.